Domonique Foxworth, the former defensive back in the NFL, now on ESPN's Get Up, on what he thinks the Browns should do with Baker Mayfield.
I don't think they have much of a choice. I think right now, given the options that they have, Baker should be the starting quarterback next year. If you look back at his history, while he's never been like a top 5 in the league quarterback, or he's never quite lived up to the number 1 overall pick, he has been good. The idea that Baker Mayfield can't be mediocre to slightly above average, I think, is absurd. He can do that. He's shown the ability to do that when he's healthy, and hopefully the rest of the team, frankly, can step up also. The defense didn't live up to the hype. The receiving core didn't quite live up to the hype that we thought early in the season. The only thing that kind of worked out for them was that running attack, which is about the running backs and the offensive line. So I think they bring Baker back. Stefanski goes back to the play action and run stuff that he knew works well, and hopefully a healthy Baker making consistently good decisions, which includes throwing the ball away when you're under pressure and not getting sacked from behind and getting hurt. Like, all that stuff is part of it. If they can coach some of that stuff out of him, maybe they can get him back to the pretty good Baker that he was at one point, and everyone else can step up and they can be the team that we all thought they were going to be this season.
And Hayden Grove, what Domonique Foxworth says makes a lot of sense. You also saw the record through 59 games and where Baker Mayfield sits, right there with Peyton Manning, right there with Jim Kelly. Back in the old days, if you will, quarterbacks went to teams that weren't very good. That's how they got good quarterbacks, and you usually struggled for a season or two. And there's the look at it. He's 29-39. Peyton Manning 30-29. Jim Kelly the same record as Baker Mayfield. Phil Simms, who won a Super Bowl, the same record, and Joe Theismann 30-29 like Peyton Manning. Those are the first 59 games of pretty good NFL quarterbacks who went to and won Super Bowls.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think that's the way of the NFL anymore. That there's no patience, there's no development. I mean, I think with Baker Mayfield, this year was a lost year in a lot of ways because you couldn't really develop him because his mechanics were going to be messed up anyways because that shoulder harness was bringing him down. And, yes, this year was about toughing it out and was about mental toughness for Baker. I think he's, like I said, I think he's going to develop and to get better from this because this was an abject disaster from coaching, from front office down to coaching, down to the players. So, the thing that I disagree with about Domonique Foxworth is that, I think that they could bring him back. I don't think it's in anyone's best interest to. I don't think it's in the best interest of Baker Mayfield to come back to Cleveland, given the way that, he is mentally right now. I think that, he probably would do a lot better with a fresh start instead of having another make it or break it year in terms of a contract. The Browns don't seem to be on Baker Mayfield's team. They want somebody a little more polished, a little more ready to take them to the heights that they think they can, excel to next year. So I don't know if there's a makeup inevitable here. I think it's more of a inevitable breakup. And I think that the Browns are going to lose out on a guy that, did a lot for him, and he's going to do a lot for some other franchise.
Well, that's fair enough. I get the whole a new start thing would be best for Baker Mayfield, but you got to tell me what the option for the Browns is, and I'm not sure that I buy Jimmy Garoppolo as an upgrade. Derek Carr, I'll listen to. You might be able to convince me. Kirk Cousins, again. You're not getting the Kirk Cousins that won a bunch of games in Kevin Stefanski's system, 4 or 5 years ago. You're getting a guy that's advanced in age in Kirk Cousins as well and has a couple more miles on him from being beaten on a couple more years.
Yeah, but, again, he ran Kevin Stefanski's offense well, and I think that's what Kevin wants. I think Kevin wants a quarterback that's gonna fit perfectly into his offense. I think Kevin thinks that his offense is the be-all, end-all, and but there's been signs that it works, definitely, but a lot of it I think is archaic. I think a lot of it is too old school. I'm an old school guy myself, but this last game especially just put a bad taste in my mouth with Kevin Stefanski, and I think he's going to have to earn it back for me in terms of, being a guy who can take this franchise to back to the playoffs. And if they want to win a Super Bowl, I don't know if they can do it with the current group. I don't think they can do it with a quarterback like Kirk Cousins. I don't think they can do it with this offense, given, you have Patrick Mahomes, who plays backyard football, Joe Burrow, who's playing backyard football, Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen playing backyard football. The team that does it better than the Browns is the Titans. They play the way the Browns should play. And the Titans don't even have, the kind of offense that Cleveland does. And I think they have some better weapons. So it's a tough thing. And I hope that there's a way that the Browns can figure this out and get to where they need to go, because, with Nick Chubb, with Myles Garrett, these guys aren't getting younger. You kind of have a little window here. And, I hope that they can find a way to compete for a Super Bowl within the next 4 years with, whoever's on the roster.